Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Amra and this is Amra's Beauty Blog. I'm a freelance makeup artist with a passion for all things beauty. If you're a subscriber, then a welcome return. If you like this video, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for weekly uploads. So today I'm going to be talking about Dior. Now I did a recent video on the new collection with the glow filter in 3 and the maximizer in the colour Peachy, and I decided because I loved it so much that I would pick up some other pieces and other colours, and I wanted to try them out with you today. Here is my Dior little mini haul, and I wanted to show you what I got. I got a free gift, which I'll show you this shortly. The main things that I got were the Dior Eau de Parfum, which is the new one. This is Miss Dior. I'm a huge fan of the Miss Dior Cherie, and I was told that this is quite similar. It is and it isn't, and I will talk about it in a later video where I'll dedicate it to this particular perfume, because I think it's important, especially with perfume, that if you think that something else smells like it, I just wanted to kind of let you know whether I think it does or not. I will do a separate video on this, but I did pick up this as well. It was the smallest size, I think it was. This was a 35ml. I've been loving the smaller sizes at the moment just because I don't get through the bigger sizes as fast as I'd like to. So I got this, and then these are the pieces I picked up. So I have the Miss Dior Forever Glow Star Filter, and this was in the number 4. If you looked at my previous video, you would have seen I purchased this in the number 3. I have now picked up the number 4, and I thought this would be really good for when I tan, but I just wanted to kind of see how dark it was, and I tested this out in store and I was very impressed, so I bought number 4. I also picked up 2 more of the Forever Glow maximizers, and I have that in the shade Rosy and Bronze. Yesterday I went into my local Dior store and I had a bit of a makeover with these products, and I wanted to show you some tricks and tips that the makeup artist did for me. And then because I really liked number 3, I wanted to get the Rosy Bronze, which is a limited edition, and it's in number 4. I like this one because it was more on the pinkier side, which I think is going to work with what I'm going to do today. And then finally I've got the Rouge Dior Couture Colour Lipstick. This is in their new formula, and it's the shade 625 Mitzah Velvet. I picked this up. It's the new packaging, and I did this because it worked really well with the look that I had. I just really like the tone and the colour. Today is going to be sort of like a part 2 to this new collection from Dior, but just because I thought it would be great to kind of show you why I like this collection so much. And it's just been a huge hit all over the internet, and I can understand why. I also want to show you a little tip today that the makeup artist did for me. The tip is involving the concealer. Now I'm not going to have any foundation on for you today because I want to show you how good the filter is without that. But what I will do is for little blemishes and things where I think I need a little bit of extra coverage, I'm going to use my Dior concealer, the amazing concealer that I always rave about. It's the Forever Skin Correct concealer, and I'm using the colour 4N, and 4N is my shade in the foundation. Let's have a little play and use it without any foundation. So you can see I've got a clear skin, I've cleansed, I've toned, I've moisturised, and I've got it all ready for you as a sort of blank canvas. You've also might have noticed that I've changed the angle of my camera because I'm testing this out today, where I'm moving the camera closer to me, and when we're doing close-ups I'm literally just going to zoom in with my lens. It's all very technical, but let me know what you think of this new setup and whether you think I should keep using it. In the past the camera's been a little bit further away, so I'd love your views and opinions on whether this works. Before I go into everything, just a quick one. This is the pouch that I got, which is so lovely. It's got a whole bag of goodies in here. It was really nice, so thank you very much for the free gift. So I won't go into the ins and out of the star filter because you would have seen that in my previous video, which I'll try and link below. But what I'm going to do is take this one, which is the number 4. You'll see that it's slightly deeper than the 3. 3 was a little bit lighter, and I do like 3, and 3 did give me a beautiful look. This is more similar to my skin tone, so let me show you a close-up. This is shade number 4 of the Glow Star Filter. So I asked the lady who did my makeup, and I said to her, was this meant to kind of reflect the foundations? And she said yes, but sometimes people can go up and can go down depending on what they feel would suit them. So there is no right or wrong way to do this, but this is the shade. What I'm going to do is quickly do a hand swatch for you to show you what it looks like, and then we're going to apply it on the face. I've just pumped a little bit out, but you can see that this is a kind of closer match to my skin tone right now. So I'm just going to kind of rub it out so you can see what it looks like. And I'm not going to waste this. This is definitely going to go on my face after we do this. So this is what it looks like. Number 4. This is the glow filter. So I'm back and we're going to put this on my face now. So let's start off with one pump and we're going to just see what we can get from that, and then I'll add another one. You can let me know whether this is okay for you. It does have that scent, but it goes away. It's like a florally scent. So this is the first layer. I mean, you could get away with this if you were having a really good skin day. I'm going to go in with another layer. So another pump. That should be more than enough. That's my second pump. That is gorgeous. You can see the glow coming through. It's just so beautiful. I got so many compliments walking through John Lewis yesterday about how glowy my skin was. In fact, customers that were on the Dior counter were buying this because they'd seen it on my skin. So you can see the effect that it has. It just makes my skin look really, really healthy, dewy and glowy. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to do a little trick that the makeup artist did with me yesterday, and we're going to take my shade, which is 4 in, and we're going to just put it in the areas that need concealing. So we're just going to go like so and use this almost like a foundation, but it's just to kind of work around the areas where I just need a little bit of concealing. I've got a really lovely brush. This was one of the brushes that I was kindly gifted by Viva La Gentile a while back, and it's a synthetic brush, but what I like about it is really flat. It's quite small, so I can get into areas that I need to. So I'm going in here. And I'm just taking this concealer and putting it in areas where I need that little bit of kind of extra coverage. I made the mistake of picking a spot. It's left a bit of a scar, so hopefully over time that should disappear, but don't do what I do. It's not a good idea. If you can see that, what that's done is just help to conceal places that just need that extra bit of coverage. Just under the eyes. Just make sure that you blend everything out. And I like to put a little bit of the concealer on my eyelids, and that's just so that everything kind of looks nice and smooth. But what a great trick, isn't it? I mean, I don't have to wear full foundation. I can take the Filt'r, use that initially, and then just pinpoint where I want to put the concealer on afterwards to make sure that there's areas that are covered that I'd like covered and still have this beautiful glow on my skin. But can you see how it looks compared to when I first had no makeup on at the beginning? Beautiful. Okay, so let's take a look at these two maximizers. They're the Forever Glow maximizers, and they're the two shades that I initially had my eye on, but I'd gone for the peachy first because I wanted to see how that was. Liked the formula, so I've gone back to get more of the colors basically. So I picked up Rosy and Bronze. Now there are 6 shades in total. The first 3 shades I'd say are like, this is pearly white color, then there's like a pinky color and a gold color. I think those are really good for people who are fairer on the skin tone side, but for someone like myself who's like medium to deep or to tan, I would say go with number 3 to number 6, which is the Rosy, the peachy and the Bronze, which are the other 3 shades. Now I've been told that these are not limited edition now. At the start when I read these online, it was like limited edition, you've got to get them as soon as you can, and when I've gone into store they said it's not. So don't worry about rushing to get them. Make sure you go into store if you can and try these on first, because that's what I did, and I much preferred that, especially with these, because there was such a huge selection and I just didn't want to get it wrong, because it's quite a lot of money to spend if this doesn't suit you. I'm going to start with this shade first. This is their bronze one, and the reason I'm doing this is because the makeup artist kind of did the same thing yesterday, and I want to follow suit because I think she did a really good job of highlighting how I can use this. The first one is in the shade bronze, and when you first look at it, you think, oh, it's quite sort of dark, and it's the darkest out of the 6 shades, but you can do a lot with this. It's flexible in terms of how you can use it. I'm going to use it as a bronzer, so I'm going to put a few taps here and then bronze it out. Just put a bit at the top of my forehead and a little bit here. I'm going to quickly do a hand swatch for you. Okay, so this is the hand swatch of the colour bronze. Isn't that stunning? So what I'm going to do is, as I've got this on my hand already, I'm just going to take a little bit of that and just put it here initially. Don't want to waste the product. Take my hand, I'm just going to literally put it on with my fingers. Don't really want to waste any of the product. So I'm just going to go like that initially. But you can kind of see that already, that it's just making this area really lovely and bronzed out. So I've got my Sonia G, this is her mini base brush, and I'm just going to do that and blend it out a little bit. But now I'm going to add a bit more in. So I've got the product here, and if you see the doe foot's really clever, you can dot where you want the product to go. So I'm going to go like that. So I've just blended it out where I want it to go, and I'm just going to balance it now on the other side. So I'll do exactly the same. And then 3 dots, no more than that. Just taking it up to the temple. It's underneath the chin. Oh, that's gorgeous. This is how it looks as a kind of bronzer situation. I've blended it out on both sides, and this is how I would use it, like a kind of bronzer. And the colour is just gorgeous against my skin tone. I think this will suit sort of medium to dark skin tones because it's just got this lovely glow underneath this shade. It's a really lovely colour, and yeah, so that's how I'd use this as a bronzer. Now, what I'm going to do, which we didn't do yesterday when I was in store, is I'm going to use this as like an eyeshadow colour. Let's just see if this works. So I've got my colour here, and I think so that I can control it, I'm going to put it on my hand, and I've dabbed a little bit on there, and I'm going to take my finger initially to apply it because I just want to be able to kind of manage it, and put it a little bit on my eyelid. Just going to move it around my finger. And I'm just kind of intensifying it with the rest of the colour on my hand. I love this trick with bronzers. I like the way you can kind of take the colours. I'm just going to take the remainder and just intensify the bronzer a bit more. I like the way you can take this sort of colour and when you're using a bronzer, make it an eyeshadow and create this kind of monochrome look. And I'm just going to take a brush and just really kind of blend it out a bit. But that's gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. I've taken this colour, used it as a bronzer, used it as a shadow as well. So pretty. So let's move on to the next shade. This is the other colour that I wanted to pick up. It's called Rosy. This is the 4th shade in the 6. Peachy comes after this. So this is Rosy. Okay, so I'm going to quickly swatch Rosy for you. And isn't Rosy just a gorgeous pink shade? It's deep as well, which is going to look great on my skin tone. Okay, so far we have the bronzer, the eyeshadow that we've used from the bronzer, and now we have this shade. I'm going to put this on the apples of my cheek, and we're going to create a blush on top of this bronzer. I'm just going to use the leftover product here first, so just scooping it up with my finger. Wow. Can you see how the two shades just work really well together? I haven't even blended this in properly yet. So pretty. So this was the brush I was using earlier for the bronzer. So hopefully these two colours should mesh. Oh my god, that's so pretty. And I'm using a lot of natural light today. You can really see how the glow looks. So we're going to do the other side. I'm just going to take a little bit of the product. I'm tapping it into my hand and then just doing it this way for this particular one. I mean, you can dab it straight on the face as well. There's no harm in that. I just wanted a little bit of control purely because I wanted to try a different technique. So you can take it up if you want, but like I'm just dabbing it in and kind of trying to blend the bronze shade with the glowy rosy shade. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Just taking the remainder. Isn't that gorgeous? So you can see now that it's such a lovely technique, which is to take the bronze shade and then take this rosy shade and kind of blend them together to create this blush with the bronzer. So if you don't like the shine, I'm not a huge fan of the middle section being glowy because I have at the moment quite combination skin. You can take their bronzer. Now I'm going to use their bronzer on top of this because I want to demonstrate how you can use it all together. But you can use this on its own without the maximizers underneath. You can use it however you like really. It's just a little technique that I'm going to show you, but I'll do a separate maybe Instagram story where I will show you this on its own so you can see how it looks without all the other bits that I've layered on top of each other. But oh, it's so pretty. I love how glowy my skin looks. So this is the other shade that I picked up. Now it's the Forever Natural Bronze Glow. I believe this is limited edition and it comes in 4 shades. There are the 2 fairer shades and then I've picked 3 in my previous video and this is the number 4. 3 was more peachy. This one is going to be more rosy and it's a rosy bronze and I think I'm quite excited to see how this is going to look. It's in this gorgeous packaging which you would have seen from my previous video as well. So this is the packaging and my god, I mean, if you love Dior, you'll love this gorgeous packaging. This is the deepest of all the shades. So you've got this sort of gradient. You've got Dior through the middle, then you've got the pink and then the bronze around it. It's stunning. So I think let's try and do a hand swatch first. I'm just going to go across, which I really don't want to have to do. I want to show you how the colours all blend with each other. So you've got the pink and then you've got that brown, but I'm just going to show you the hand swatch. But you can see that the pink is kind of mixed in with the brown to create this gorgeous shade. It's not that dark actually. I thought that this would be the darkest, so it would be a lot darker, but it's not. It's actually really lovely for my skin tone. So I've got my Cheeky Pro brush from Sonia G. It's kind of like the right size just to get into the bronzer. And I've got that shade here and I'm just going to add it to my cheeks. And it's kind of just meshed everything together. It's made everything look really pretty. So I'm going to do the same to the other side. It's really pretty. I love the way the eyeshadow is looking as well. And I just want to put a little bit on the center because I just want to prevent some of that shine from coming through, because I don't really like it on my T-zone as much. But wow, it's like the sun has hit my face in all the right places. So finally we enter the last piece that I picked up, and this is their new formula of their Rouge Dior Couture Colour Lipstick, and it's in the shade Mitzah 625 and it's in the formulation Velvet. I'm very excited to try this because I tried the satin one, which was a new formula that I got as a sample. This one is actually one I've purchased, so let me show you the packaging. Can you see the packaging there and how gorgeous it is compared to the old one? This is the reformulated one, and that's how you know it's reformulated, because the packaging is completely different to the old one. That's how the shade is, and it's such a gorgeous shade as well. Beautiful. So what we're going to do now is just do a little hand swatch of the shade. Isn't that gorgeous? It's kind of like a muted pink, really lovely and wearable. Take the lipstick. Wow. I think Dior do my favourite sort of formulas. They feel so lovely on. This velvet one is one of my favourites. So this is the shade Mitzah. And I'm going to show you a little trick before we finish. So I've just gone away and I've added some brow and I've added some brown liner because I think this deserves a little bit more of a soft look. I didn't seem to find my brown mascara, but I've added the new Lisa Eldridge Kitten Lash mascara, and I love her mascara. I think it's amazing. That is the finished look. And I'm just going to add one more little thing which I said I would show you. Remember when I said this was like a multitasking tool? If you watch my previous video, I did a similar thing in that video. What I did was I took this highlight and I put it on the lips. So we're going to put this on the lips together now, and I'm going to show you how it elevates the look. Okay, so I've got the maximizer here, and here you go. So just on the inner part of the lips. Wow. And it just gets it to that next level. Wow. What do you think, guys? It's beautiful. I don't know which I prefer now. I kind of like both looks. I like the previous one I did and this one because they're just a little bit different. The other one was more peachy. This one's more pinky. Okay, so this is the finished look, and I'm sure you'd agree that it is glowing. I think I prefer this to the Charlotte Tilbury, actually. I do have a flawless filter, but there is just something about Dior that just pushes it to another level, and my skin just looks like so healthy and glowy and dewy, and I'm so happy that I went to pick up the other pieces now. The Glow Star Filter in 04 is like my perfect match. I really liked 03. It's a little bit lighter and probably good for sort of winter time because my skin's a little bit less warmer, and it kind of just gives it something special but not too sort of brown, whereas this one's got a little bit more colour to it, so it's definitely more for like summertime, and I'm really looking forward to using this more as we reach the summer in the UK because I think my skin is going to get warm again. I don't normally have a tan around this sort of time of year, but I just come back from holiday not long ago, so my skin was still brown, so that's why I think this one suits me right now, and it's really gorgeous. The two glow maximizers in Rosy and Bronze are so versatile. As you saw with the Bronze, I was able to use it as a bronzer, as an eyeshadow, and with the Rosy shade I was able to use it as a blush and sort of like a highlighter. I could even put it on these parts as well. You can use it for lots of different things, which I really like, because sometimes with these products they're only for one purpose. Makeup is to be explored. Even though it might say something, doesn't necessarily mean you need to use it for that purpose. If it suits you and you want to use it for something else, absolutely. And you know, makeup is for fun, it's for playing around with and to be creative with. I love the fact that you can be with these maximizers. I like her little trick with not having a foundation. I cannot believe I don't have foundation on. When I was talking to another counter, she thought I had foundation on and I said, no, I don't. It's not foundation, it's the Filt'r. And she was like, you know, I'm going to the Dior counter straight away because I really want this glow. And so using the concealer to just conceal areas where you need it means that you don't necessarily need to use a foundation if you don't have to. I love that aspect of it, and I love that little trick. I love this shade. It's a cool toned pink, but it's got this lovely vibe to it where I could enhance it with the highlighter, and it's an everyday shade, which I really love. Look at that bronze. Oh my god. It kind of just gelled everything together, and I can imagine using it on its own and kind of the effect it would have as well. To kind of summarize, you can see that I'm very happy with these purchases, and Dior have smashed it. I'm so excited to see what they bring in the next year. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more. One of the things that the makeup artist mentioned is she said that this was missing from Dior. So the